A lot of people get caught up in how fast someone replies. Oh my God, he replied in under 5 minutes. He's obsessed with me. Or, he took 3 hours, he's not interested. And yes, response time can tell you something, but it's not the full story. What really matters is how someone shows up when they reply. Is there thought behind the message? Is there presence in the words? Because a fast response doesn't mean much if it's a lazy lull or a dry cool. But when a guy takes the time to send you a message that actually reflects you, that actually acknowledges what you've said and builds on it, that's a deeper sign of someone who's emotionally present. That's someone who's investing more than just time. He's investing attention, and attention is everything. Let me paint the picture. You send a text about your day, maybe venting a little or sharing something exciting, and instead of just saying, "That sucks," or "nice," he actually references specific details from your message. Maybe he says, "Oak, I can't believe your boss dumped that on you right before lunch. That's such a messed up move. No wonder you were stressed." Or he picks up on your excitement and says, "That's huge! I remember you were nervous about that meeting. Look at you pulling it off like a pro." That level of response shows he's not just scrolling through your message and replying out of politeness. He's reading between the lines. He's engaging emotionally. And that's where the gold is. Because anyone can send a quick reply, but thoughtful texting, that requires him to be present, to care, and to actually want to connect. When a guy is into you, he's not just checking the box of replying. He's showing up as himself because he wants to be seen by you and he wants to see you. That's where emotional safety and chemistry begin to build. Through the little things he says that tell you, "I'm not just here to pass time with you. I'm here because you matter." And here's the other part most people overlook. Thoughtful replies also mean he's trying to create emotional intimacy. He's letting you into his world, not just commenting on yours. You might notice he shares more than just facts or surface-level updates. He says things like, "That reminds me of this time in college when I nearly got kicked out of class for laughing," or, "Honestly, I had a day like that last week and it really threw me off too." He opens up, he adds vulnerability, he shares stories, not to impress you, but to connect. And when a man starts to communicate like that, when the guard drops even a little, it means something's shifting. He's not just keeping up a conversation, he's letting the wall down, bit by bit. Now some women might miss this, because they're focused on dramatics, the chase, the mystery, the games. But the real giveaway isn't in how hard he plays to get. It's in how easily he lets you in. If he's texting you in a way that shows care, clarity, and consideration, he's already chosen you. He's not doing that for 5 women at once. No guy is spending energy crafting warm, emotionally aware messages to every girl in his phone. He's doing it because you're different. Because, whether he's admitted it to himself or not, he's already yours. It's in the way he remembers what you said, not just hours later, but days later. The way he double-checks something you mentioned in passing because he wants to be the guy who gets it right. The way he follows up on things without being asked. The way he answers a simple, "How was your day?" with more than "fine." Because he wants to share his world with you, not just give you the headline. We all crave connection, and when someone begins to show you that level of presence, it's not an accident. He's not just being nice. He's investing. He's building something with you. And if you're sitting there wondering, Where do I stand with him? Don't just look at how often he texts or how many heart emojis he sends. Look at how he texts. Look at what's in the message. That's where the real signal is. And when those messages feel like they're crafted just for you, when they show warmth, humor, understanding, and genuine effort, you can stop guessing. You already have his attention, and more than that, you already have his heart. There's something so subtle, but so powerful about the way someone mirrors your energy. It's not just about using the same emojis or punctuation. It's about how in sync someone becomes with you when they're emotionally invested. It's the digital version of leaning in during a conversation, matching your vibe, your tempo, your humor, and then adding their own spark to it. And when a guy starts texting you like that, it's no accident. It means he's paying close attention. It means he's not just enjoying the conversation, he's connecting to you. Think about it. You send a playful message with a few emojis, maybe a cheeky joke or a funny nickname, and instead of replying with something generic, he matches your tone. He throws the joke back at you, maybe makes it a little funnier. You send, or, I just spilled coffee all over myself, and instead of replying, or no, he says something like, classic, you need me to FedEx a bib. Now that's someone who's not just responding, he's playing. He's entering your world, picking up your rhythm, and saying, I see you. And I'm enjoying this dance. You see, when someone mirrors your energy, it's a sign they're paying attention not just to what you're saying, but how you're saying it. That's emotional intelligence. That's awareness. And let's be honest, guys don't do that for everyone. If a guy's just being polite, he's not thinking about tone. He's not matching your banter. He's giving you surface level replies that get the job done. But if he's matching you, if he's letting himself have fun with you, he's engaged. And that's where things start to shift. But it doesn't stop there. The ones who are truly hooked don't just mirror you, they elevate the interaction. He starts adding his own flavor. Maybe he brings in nicknames, memes, inside jokes that only the two of you would understand. You drop a light tease, and he fires back with one of his own, playful, respectful, flirty. There's this ping-pong effect in your chats, and suddenly it's not just texting anymore. It's chemistry. And when texting starts to feel like chemistry, that's when you know something real is happening. And here's where it gets even more telling. As he gets more invested, you'll notice that his replies reflect a deeper sense of comfort. He gets more expressive. He uses words and emojis he might not normally use. Maybe he starts saying things like, your trouble, or I always look forward to your texts. He's not trying to impress you with curated, perfect lines. He's letting himself be himself with you, because something about your energy makes him feel safe enough to do that. Now, some women underestimate how important this is. They say, oh, he's just joking around, or he's just good at texting. No. If a guy is tuning in to your emotional wavelength and matching your energy, not just once, but consistently, he's emotionally invested. And you know what that means. It means he's not trying to win you over anymore. He's trying to connect with you. He's showing you, without saying it outright, I like where this is going. And you might even notice him trying to deepen the dynamic between you. Maybe he introduces flirty scenarios into the conversation. Things like, if we were watching that movie together, I'd totally steal the popcorn from your lap. Or, you'd never survive a game night with me. I'd destroy you, Pong. That's him creating a shared space, a future moment, even if it's playful. That's imagination fueled by interest. That's how attraction grows, when it moves from the play to the possibility. And don't underestimate the role you play in this. When you bring your authentic self to the conversation, your humor, your quirks, your playful side, you're giving him the invitation to do the same. And the right guy will not only accept that invitation, he'll meet you there and take it one step further. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. Because he enjoys how it feels when you two interact. That joy, that mutual energy. It's addictive, and it's real. So if you're texting with someone and you find yourself smiling at the screen more often than not, if your chats have rhythm and inside jokes, and he's not just keeping the conversation going but building it with you, don't second guess it. That's not casual. That's not coincidence. That's connection. And when a man starts texting you like that, matching your vibe, elevating the energy, and creating a language that's just the two of you, trust me, he's already yours. One of the clearest, most underrated signs that a guy is already in deep, whether he's admitted it to you or not, is when he starts reaching out for no reason at all. And I don't mean the "what you doing" texts at 10 p.m. that leave you wondering if he's bored or just scrolling through his contacts. I'm talking about those casual, unprompted messages that come through your phone and make you smile, not because they're grand or poetic, but because they're genuine. "Hey, just thought of you when I saw this." Or, "You crossed my mind earlier. How's your day going?" Simple, real, unforced. And that's exactly what makes them so powerful. When a guy texts you just because he saw something funny and thought you'd laugh too, because he remembered something you told him last week, because he had a free moment and chose to spend it connecting with you, that's when you know he's not just flirting. He's emotionally invested. He's already made space for you in his day, and he's doing it without needing a reason. There's no external motivation, no obligation. He's not trying to get anything. He's just reaching out because he wants to. That kind of communication says so much more than people realize. When someone initiates conversation out of the blue, they're telling you, you're not an afterthought. And that matters, because we've all experienced what it feels like to be on the other side. The one doing the reaching, the initiating, the chasing. We've sent the texts, checked our phones, waited hours, maybe days, for someone else to show even half the effort. So, when the roles reverse, and a guy starts showing you that level of presence and initiative, it hits differently. And it's not just about how often he texts, it's very why he's texting. Is he checking in because he wants to make sure you got home safe? Is he following up on something you mentioned in passing because he remembered? Is he sharing something personal because he wants to be seen by you, not just heard? These moments don't come with fanfare. They won't always stand out unless you're paying attention. But they're the quiet proof that you've already taken root in his mind. Let me tell you something that's true of any man who's truly falling for someone. She becomes part of his internal world. He doesn't just think about her when she's around. He thinks about her throughout the day. In the middle of errands, during work, scrolling through social media, she pops into his mind, and with that comes the urge to reach out. Even just that song you mentioned, I listened to it, Firepole. That's not just communication. That's connection. That's someone letting you know you're part of my day even when you're not here. And here's the beautiful irony. When a guy initiates like this, without pressure or performance, it often comes from a place of peace. He's not calculating. He's not asking, "How many hours has it been since she texted me?" He's just following what feels right. And when a man feels safe enough to do that, when he's dropped the games and is operating from sincerity, that's a man who's already emotionally available. That's someone who's leaning in, not holding back. What's more, you'll notice that these, just because, texts are often where his real personality shines through. These are the messages where he jokes more, flirts more, or even opens up in ways that feel unexpectedly honest. You might get a text like, "Random, but I was just thinking how easy it is to talk to you." That doesn't happen much. It's unguarded, vulnerable, it slips out, and maybe he even follows it up with a laughing emoji to lighten the moment. But it's already out there, and it matters, because that's the kind of thing you say to someone when you feel something building. And let's not forget, this kind of initiative is a choice. No one's too busy to send a 2-second message. When a guy tells you he's been slammed all day and still manages to text something thoughtful, that's not convenience. That's priority. And when you become a priority in the little moments, those in between hours that no one else sees, that's when you know it's real. So if you're talking to someone and you find yourself getting texts at random times, not just when it's convenient for him, not just when he wants something, but because he genuinely wants to connect, pay attention. If his messages feel warm, effortless, and genuine, if they come when you least expect them, but exactly when they'd make you smile, then there's a reason. He's not just passing time. He's already yours. You can tell a lot about how a man feels by the way he flirts with you. Not just that he does it, but how. Because there's a huge difference between someone who's flirty just to get your attention and someone who's flirty because he genuinely enjoys connecting with you. When he's truly into you, his flirtation isn't pushy or performative. It's playful, respectful, and tailored to you. It's not copy-paste pickup lines or trying too hard compliments. It's warm, it's fun, and it feels like an inside joke you've both been in on since day one. The kind of guy who's already yours. He flirts like he's trying to make you laugh, not just make a move. He teases you, but never crosses the line. He says something cheeky and immediately follows it up with a little grin emoji or a JK. To keep it light. He wants you to feel good, not just feel desired. And that's the difference. When a man is flirting out of genuine affection, he's not just trying to get something from you. He's giving something to you. He's offering up a piece of his personality. He's trying to brighten your day, lift your mood, create a moment of connection. He's not angling for attention. He already has it from you, and he knows it. He's just enjoying the space you two are in. Sometimes his messages are funny in a way that only works because of the connection you've built. Maybe he says, "If you keep talking like that, I'm going to have to add troublemaker to your contact name." Or, "You know I'm still waiting on that coffee date you promised, right?" Said with that teasing charm that makes it clear he's not demanding anything, just dancing with the moment. There's no pressure behind his words, just presence, just play. And it's in that playfulness that you see the real chemistry growing. He's comfortable being a little silly with you. He doesn't mind if he sounds ridiculous now and then. Why? Because he's not trying to maintain some perfect image. He's trying to connect. He's trying to build something. And part of building connection is showing personality, showing fun, showing that you bring out a version of him that he likes, maybe even a version of himself that he doesn't show to everyone else. You'll also start to notice that his flirtation becomes more specific over time. He starts teasing you about little quirks you have, or referencing funny things you've said before. Maybe you always mess up song lyrics, and he sends a voice note dramatically singing the wrong version just to make you laugh. Or maybe you mentioned once how competitive you are, and he texts you saying, "Just warning you, I will destroy you at mini-golf, and I will gloat about it." That kind of flirtation doesn't come from someone who's just trying to impress you. It comes from someone who's paying attention, who's engaged, who's already emotionally tied to this connection and wants to keep deepening it. And while all of this is happening, this teasing, joking, playful energy, there's something else that starts to slip through: care. He might wrap a flirtatious message in a sincere moment, like saying, "You're a total pain in the ass sometimes, but I honestly love talking to you." He makes you laugh, and then he lets you feel a little bit of the truth beneath the humor. That's when you know it's real, because men don't do that with just anyone. That blend of flirtation and affection, that's reserved for someone he sees as more than just a fling. Someone who makes him feel safe enough to show both the charming, witty side and the softer, more vulnerable one. And here's the thing: flirtation like this creates emotional intimacy. It's not surface level. It becomes a kind of shared language, a way you two communicate that's uniquely yours. And when a guy starts to build that with you, when your conversations have a rhythm, a tone, a humor that no one else really gets, that's not just flirting anymore. That's bonding. That's how you become his person. Because it's not just about what you're saying, it's about how you feel when you're saying it. It's about how light the conversation feels, even after a long day. It's about how often you find yourself grinning at your phone. And that doesn't happen when a guy's just playing games. It happens when he's genuinely enjoying you and wants you to enjoy him. So, if you're getting messages that make you laugh, that feel personal, that show he's having fun with you in a way that's playful, consistent, and respectful, don't overthink it. Don't brush it off as just texting. That's not generic flirtation. That's not for anyone else. That's not strategy. That's chemistry he's already invested in. That's his way of telling you, without needing to say the words, he's already yours. One of the clearest signs that a man has emotionally attached himself to you, whether he realizes it or not, is when he remembers the little things. I'm not talking about grand declarations or sweeping romantic gestures. I mean the moments that feel small, almost forgettable. The off-handed comments you didn't think twice about, but he did. Because when a guy starts holding on to those tiny details you shared, the ones you barely remember saying, that's not memory, that's care. You might say something like, "I've had the worst sleep lately. I can never fall asleep if I don't hear rain sounds." And then, 3 days later, he sends you a link to a playlist with calming rainstorm tracks. No fanfare, no big caption. Just thought this might help. That right there, that's thoughtfulness wrapped in attentiveness. And it's not about the playlist. It's about what it represents. He didn't just hear you. He registered you. You stayed with him after the conversation ended. Or maybe you mention your favorite snack, or your go-to-coffee order, or a childhood memory, and out of nowhere, a week later, he brings it up. You said you loved caramel popcorn, right? I saw some today and thought of you. Or Weren't you the one who got stuck in a tree once trying to save a cat? I still think about that sometimes. He remembers what you said, and more than that. He remembers why it mattered to you. And that's someone who's paying attention, not because he's trying to impress you, but because he genuinely values who you are. When a man starts to show this kind of presence, it's a major shift in the way he communicates. Most people listen to reply. But when someone remembers the little things, they're listening to understand. And that's what deep emotional interest looks like. He's not texting you to fill time. He's not responding on autopilot. He's engaging with you, even in the quiet moments between messages, because your words stayed with him. Because you stayed with him. This kind of attentiveness isn't loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't demand attention. It shows up in those subtle details. He remembers the name of your dog. He follows up on your friend's job interview. He texts you good luck before your dentist appointment because you said you hate them. None of that is glamorous, but it's real, and it's consistent. That's where you find emotional safety, in the patterns, in the reliability of someone showing you, again and again, that they're paying attention to who you are, not just what you look like or what you post. And what's interesting is that when men reach this level of emotional investment, their memory sharpens naturally. Not because they suddenly have superpowers, but because they're emotionally tethered to the connection. When a guy is genuinely interested in you, he can't help but remember things. That story you told about your grandma's baking? Stuck in his mind. The random detail about how you hate Wednesdays. He files it away, and next time Wednesday rolls around, he texts, just checking in on your least favorite day. That kind of stuff isn't learned behavior. It's instinctive. When he cares, he retains. And when that starts happening, you can be sure of one thing. You're no longer just someone he's getting to know. You're someone who's taken up emotional real estate in his world. You've become a thread woven into his day, and he's no longer texting from a place of curiosity. He's texting from a place of connection, from familiarity, from something beginning to feel like intimacy. And maybe the most beautiful part of all of this is that you don't have to ask for it. You don't have to drop hints or beg to be seen. He just does it, because that's how effort looks when it's coming from someone who's emotionally present. It's not always loud or grand. It's soft, precise, specific. It's the text that remembers, the follow-up that comes days later, the small gesture that says, "You're not just part of my day, you're part of my mind." And when you're in that space, when you're with someone who holds onto the pieces of you that even you forget you shared, you'll feel it. That feeling of being held, emotionally, without needing to fight for space. It's not about proving your worth. It's about being valued in the quiet, consistent way that only someone who genuinely cares can show you. So if the guy you're talking to starts recalling those small details, if he brings up things you said once without prompting, if he's showing you again and again that your voice echoes in his world long after you've stopped speaking, don't ignore that. Don't minimize it. Because when he remembers the little things, he's already yours. One of the clearest signs that a guy is already emotionally invested in you, maybe more than even he realizes, is when he starts talking about the future. Not in some dramatic, sweeping, let's run away together kind of way. I'm talking about the casual, throwaway moments that seem light at first, but actually carry weight. The next time we go there? Or you'd love this place? Or when we finally get that sushi night. Those aren't just filler words. Those are his subconscious way of planting you into his future. And when a man starts naturally imagining you in his life beyond the next 24 hours, it means you've already taken root in a place much deeper than just today. You'll notice it in little comments. Maybe you're talking about weekend plans, and he says, "We should go there sometime." Or you mention a concert, and he casually replies, "We're definitely doing that when they're in town next." It might not sound like much, but it is. That language is forward-facing. It's connective. He's not talking about a hypothetical woman or a vague idea of dating. He's talking about you. And in his mind, you're still there. You're still around. You're part of the story that hasn't happened yet. That means something. And what's even more important is how. Naturally, it starts to happen. He doesn't have to pause and overthink it. He's not saying those things to impress you. He's just talking from where he already feels. When a guy starts speaking in terms of we and us, especially in those playful, light-hearted moments, it's because his emotional world has started to include you without him needing to force it. That's not about charm. That's about attachment. And you'll hear it in how he frames plans, even if they're tiny. Maybe it's something like, "When I finally cook you that dinner I promised." Or, "You have to come with me to this bookstore. It's got your name all over it." That kind of talk is powerful because it means he's not just reacting to your presence. He's imagining it continuing. And in a world where so many people live moment to moment, not knowing what they want, it's incredibly revealing when someone begins naturally inserting you into their later. Now, here's the key. It doesn't have to be serious to be real. Sometimes people hear talking about the future and assume it has to mean discussing marriage or long-term commitment. But that's not always the case. It's actually more telling when a man is casually talking about doing things with you next week, next month, or sometime soon, because that shows he's not just thinking in terms of short-term connection. He's not looking at this as disposable. He sees you being ever round. And even if he's not fully conscious of it yet, those little comments are his way of holding space for you in his life. You might also notice he starts including you in his actual plans. Not just, "We should," but let's go to that street fair this weekend. Or, "I got tickets to that show you mentioned. Hope you're free Friday." That's a shift. That's no longer suggestion. That's action. And when a man starts aligning his plans with you, whether it's booking something, checking in on your schedule, or offering to coordinate, it's because he's already seeing time with you as valuable, not optional. That's what it looks like when he's moved beyond interest and into intention. And if you really want to understand where someone's heart is, pay attention to how they talk when they're relaxed, when there's no pressure, when they're just chatting freely. Because it's often in those moments, those casual conversations late at night or in between texts during a busy day, that the future slips in naturally. He might say, "You'd be dangerous in a trivia game. We're totally signing up for one together." Or, "I feel like our vacation playlist is already halfway made." These aren't rehearsed lines. These are flashes of where his heart is headed. And they're full of quiet certainty. A man doesn't talk like that if he's unsure about you. He doesn't build those playful little blueprints of the future with someone he's not emotionally connected to. And he certainly doesn't continue to do it again and again, unless his brain and his heart have already decided that you're part of the picture, even if he hasn't said anything directly, even if the relationship still feels light or undefined. You don't need a dramatic profession of love to know he's already there. You just need to listen for the way he talks about the F next time. The way he looks for opportunities to keep you in his orbit. The way he quietly assumes you're not going anywhere. Because when a man starts thinking in terms of where, without realizing he's doing it, that's not a sign of potential. That's a sign he's already yours.